Hello, everyone. Good evening. Uh, I think Pallavi ma'am has already introduced me, so it's okay. Uh, Today we will discuss about this beautiful topic about the desire that satisfies all desires. So I welcome you all to this session. And before that, I just want to thank everybody, all the masters, Pallavi ma'am, Deepika ma'am, Sindura ma'am, our great Rangnath Sarji, and our great great master Patri Sarji, and our great great grandmaster Mahavatar Babaji. I thank everyone and the Mahavatar Foundation to give me this wonderful opportunity and to help to be part and to contribute in everyone's and my own growth, spiritual growth. Everybody can hear clearly? Hello?
Yeah, ma'am, you can hear you.
Yeah. Okay. So this talk was given by Paramhansa Yogananda ji in California, and it is very nicely explained. He has explained about the desires and what is the best desire to have. So he starts by saying, "The glory of God is real. He is the glory of God is great. He is real, and he can be found in this life. But man has many desires in his heart, and he keeps praying for those desires like name, fame, wealth, car, money, etc. But the one desire that man should have in his heart is the desire for God's presence. And he says, this is the one desire, this is the one thing, one object that will satisfy man completely. He says, sooner or later, as you walk the path of life, you will realize that it is only God that satisfies you. You know, many of you, many masters who are already on the spiritual path have already realized this, that all these material desires did not give us much happiness. It gave us happiness for some time, but later again we became unhappy. So it is God only that can give you full satisfaction. He says God is the biggest treasure to have. So, compared to all the material things in this world, which is the greatest treasure? God is the greatest treasure to have. It's such a beautiful thing. And he says he does not pray. Why he does not pray, he has explained. He says when the object, that is God, God is going to satisfy and to fulfill all our desires. And when we have God in our heart, then we no longer need to keep praying for the small things. He says, do not be in this beggar consciousness, continuously asking for things from God. Stop being in the beggar consciousness. Realize your own willpower and see that you can yourself create the things you want in your life. So, from today, if everybody has understood the meaning of this, we will stop asking from God for all the small things. We will just surrender all our desires to God and we will just pray for the greatest thing in this universe is that is God's presence in our heart. Now, material desires, they come through some mistaken misconception about our purpose of life. When we are not aware of the purpose of our life, that is when we don't know why we have got this birth. That is why we are running after all these material desires. Unless man goes back to source, he will have to struggle to fulfill his endless desires. Have you seen You fulfill one desire, you buy one sari, then again after some days you like another sari, then you want to buy that sari, and so on and so forth. It goes on. It never gets fulfilled. And this itself, these desires, these endless desires, they prevent you from going back to the source, and that is God. So man cannot help having desires. You may ask, how can it be possible? We cannot help having desires. And it's not a sin to have a desire. But he says that these desires, they hamper you from having the supreme desire, that is to go back to God. He asks us to reflect on it. He says, reflect on it. What is really preventing us from having God's full communion within ourselves? It is these desires. We will continue longing for whatever we think will make him happy until he has God. So, till you have God in your heart, in your self, you will continue running after these desires. And so, everybody in the modern life must have gone through this cycle of trying to fulfill our desires. And one day we became tired that we never became happy. And that is why we came on the spiritual path, searching for God. And once we meditate, we start meditating in deep meditation. When we are in communion with God, we feel deep satisfaction. And he says, for him who has God, instant fulfillment of all desires come to him automatically. So, there is no need then to keep hankering after these desires, because for the person who has God, instant fulfillment of all his desires are going to happen. Automatically, all your desires will get fulfilled. You may ask how. I can tell you my own experience that, now I don't need, even I don't pray for it, any small things anymore. So, you just have a small intention also that this is what I need. And it comes and it goes. And the next thing you see that it has got fulfilled. That is the state you come into when you have God's presence in yourself. Then he says that there are two types of desires. One is that which obstruct you from connecting to God, and one is that make you go towards God. And they can also be called reasonable and unreasonable desires. So, whenever any desire comes, you can ask yourself, is it really reasonable to have this thing? You just see something which is very expensive, like a 1 crore car, and you feel want to have it. But ask yourself, is it really reasonable? Is it really necessary? Even a normal car will do. And also, he says that I try to identify between good and bad desires. Like he gives an example, if someone abuses you and you have this desire of retaliating, so that's a bad desire. But you do not retaliate and you stop yourself. So then that becomes that you have pushed yourself to a good desire of not retaliating, and that takes you more towards God. All desires should be satisfied in a divine way. When you try to satisfy them in a worldly way, you increase your difficulties. And once you have given all your desires to God, He will fulfill all your good desires, and all your bad desires, He will remove them. So that is the beauty of having God's presence within you, is automatically your good desires or desires that are good for you will get fulfilled, and the desires that are bad will be removed from your mind. A state should come in your life where you should, even if the whole world's material things are given to you instead of God, You should say, no, I wish to have God in my life. And then whatever God wishes to give me, He can give me in my life. That is the priority, that is the status God should have in our life. Then he says, use discrimination to identify between good desires and bad desires. Because why? Why? Because bad desires are also going to get fulfilled. You know, the universe law of attraction is, if you ask for good desires, they are also going to get fulfilled. If you ask for bad things also, they are also going to get fulfilled. So there you need to use your discrimination. Like it is, he gives an example. It's like, you know, there is an extremely heavy fried food and you have this desire of eating this fried food. You know, but so you indulge in it, you go for the bad desire, but what happens later on? You have a stomach pain, or you have a bad stomach, and that's when you realize that I should have not indulged in this bad desire. So that is how you must use discrimination in your life to identify between good and bad desires. He says, use your wisdom and reflection to remove these unwanted desires. Then he says, from time to time, remove yourself from daily life. You know, you can go for a small retreat, or even in your house, one day of the week, you can sit alone for some time in a room and you can reflect on yourself. Reflection and introspection is a very big part in our spiritual life, which we must do daily, actually. you know so he asks us to reflect and to understand our own self, to understand who we are, and listen to our own conscience and try to become Christ consciousness. When we listen to our own conscience, we automatically start understanding that all these desires are bad and we'll no longer hold on to them. And what we need to become, we need to come in the Christ consciousness. What is Christ consciousness? That is, when people spat on his face also, he did not retaliate. They crucified him. He did not retaliate. He said, forgive them, God, for they know not what they do. That is the state, that is the consciousness we need to come into. Then he talks about unfulfilled desires. Now, this is a very deep topic, and try to understand this. It will transform your life. Now, unfulfilled desires, they prevent you from returning to your source. All unfulfilled desires become an impression, and you carry them like germs from lifetime to lifetime. These unfulfilled desires, they become mental tabloids, and they are the things that are causing our behaviors in our life. If you would have seen a child, at an early age, he's throwing temper tantrums, or he's getting very angry, he's very moody. Now he's a child, he's not learned anything still from the world. So where is this behavioral pattern coming from? This is coming from the impressions that have been created from his unfulfilled desires of many lifetimes. That is the kind of effect unfulfilled desires have in our, uh, in our body, in our mind, and in our soul. So, for example, an alcoholic, he has this desire to drink. So he will come in every lifetime, he will continue having this desire. And with the alcoholism, all the bad habits and the bad behavior also he will keep doing, unless and until in one lifetime he comes on the spiritual path and he overcomes this desire of taking alcohol. And then he will become free of this desire. Then also very bad desires like suicide, or harming, having this desire to harm someone. These are very bad desires and they will continue with you for lifetimes. So immediately these thoughts, these desires should be removed from your mind. And he says that just like you clean an attic, attic, or where you keep your extra stuff, even that room, no, sometimes you open up and you clean it up. Whatever you need you keep, and whatever you don't need, especially around Diwali, we do this, we discard all the unnecessary stuff. Similarly, we must do our deep cleaning of our mind. We must sit with ourselves, reflect. And sometimes many deep unfulfilled desires are there. They may be from childhood, we may not be even aware. They're completely useless in life, but we are still holding on to some desire, that I want this thing in my life. From childhood you're having this, and it is troubling you. So these kind of unfulfilled desires which you're holding on from this life, from past lifetimes, you must let go of them, because they are going to become impressions, mental tabloids, which you will carry through lifetimes, and then they will cause these bad behavioral patterns, and they will not allow you to go back to the source. So whenever we have an overwhelming desire, sometimes in life it happens. People who are not meditating deeply, for them it becomes very difficult. Some deep desire comes, I want to have this thing only. I want to have this iPhone. Everybody is having it. I want to have this. So whenever such a thing happens, now when you have the knowledge, you can sit in meditation, you can sit in introspection, and use your discrimination, whether you really need that thing, and whether it is necessary, and whether even it is good or bad. Means if it is way beyond your budget, so it becomes a bad desire only. Then you will take loan and you will fulfill that desire. So that is very bad for you. So this way, by using discrimination, you become free from all these bad desires. So make God your priority. He says life is God's laboratory. We have come on this earth to learn some lessons. And sometimes we come on this earth to even teach other people some good lessons. He says this life is like a motion picture. It is not real. Don't take it too seriously. And don't become too serious also in life. So, we are living a life which is full of desires, and we become so serious running after these desires, and we become very unhappy. And the biggest treasure, that is God, we miss that treasure. So his guru Yukteswarji taught him this about not being serious. He told him, "Why are you sitting so glum? No need of sitting so glum. You can smile and be happy and be light." So those people who have a habit of being serious, so start becoming light and be happy, because nothing is real. We are all going to die. One day when we die, everything will go away. So what is there to hold on to try to accumulate these material things? No real meaning in that. And in his training, Sri Yukteswar ji taught him to meditate first thing in the morning before he would start his duties. He asked him that you must get up at 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and you must meditate. But Yogananda ji was small at that time, and he would get up in the morning and he would start doing all the worldly duties of the ashram, and he would forget to meditate. 1 year passed like this, and one day the realization came to him only that the biggest duty I have is towards God. So from that day, he started meditating for an hour first thing in the morning, and then he would do his worldly duty. So, those who are on the spiritual path have already understood this. They must already be doing this. But those who are still not making meditation your first priority in the morning, start doing it. You will see the change and wonders in your life. Then he says, remain even minded in sorrow and in happiness. Keep the love of God in your heart while doing your worldly duties. So, throughout the day, keep God in your heart. That way, even your worldly duties don't seem a burden, they become very easy. And remain even minded. That means, even if something good happens to you, remain little calm, only don't get too excited. And if something bad happens to you also, you remain calm. Worldly desires will give you limited happiness, but God's desire will give you unlimited happiness. So we must remember this. What is the thing that is going to give us unlimited happiness? That is God. Again, he gives an example. He says, if you go to a village fair, there are only 4 or 5 rides over there. So you have only limited pleasure you got, limited happiness you got there. But once you come to a metro city, there is a big amusement park. So there is so much to enjoy over there. So you get a lot of happiness. So he compares this in a way that the big thing is God, and that is what will give you the unlimited happiness. He says, be steadfast in God's communion and do not allow the desires to overwhelm you. So, these desires, they really overwhelm you and they destroy you and your life. In this modern world, we are seeing it all the time, social media, Instagram, all these reels people are seeing continuously throughout the day. They are seeing and they're seeing these ads, and then their desires go on increasing. So he says that you remain steadfast in God's communion and do not allow these desires to overwhelm you. When you are anchored in the spirit, you can enjoy the world without any attachment. So, the beauty is the moment, when you are anchored in the spirit, when you have God's presence, when you have the connection with God fully, then actually you can even enjoy the world more without any attachment. If you get something, then that is also good. And if you don't get something, then that is also good. Then he also gives another example. He says if there is a mother and a child is asking the mother for money, and the mother keeps giving money to the child. But the child never asks, he becomes big also, but the child never asks the mother how she is and how she is feeling. So that is exactly what we are doing with God. We are continuously asking for things from God, but we are not thanking him, we are not grateful, and we are not embracing him fully in our life. So he says, pray to the Lord. And what is the prayer you must do? This is a very powerful prayer. I have experienced this power of this prayer. Lord, you must come to me. Invite the divine in yourself. Ask him to come to you, and you just see that you will get transformed. Every day, morning, during the day, doing work, and at night, keep God with you. So every day, get up in the morning, do your meditation. Throughout the day, when you're doing your work, also keep the love of God in your heart. You can chant some mantra from time to time. You can listen to some bhajans. You can then, when you are free, you can, read some knowledge. And even in the night before sleeping, we must meditate. Like this, throughout the day, we have God's presence in our life. Desires pull you back again and again to take birth. So once we have understood this thing, we will, remove all the unwanted desires in our life, the bad desires in our life, because this is only preventing us from not going back to our source. So we will have to come again and again. We'll have to keep taking birth to fulfill all these desires. Reincarnation is no longer necessary for those who have fulfilled their desires in God. So, see, this is the simplest path. Once you have fulfilled all your desires in God, that is, you have given all your desires to God, ki you take care of them. That's all that you have to do. You have to surrender your desires to God, and you have to meditate morning, night, and the spiritual path that we are all on, follow it. And then it is no longer necessary to come back on this earth. We do not need to reincarnate. So, this is the way to liberation, to be free of our desires, and to remove unwanted, bad, and unreasonable desires in our life. Easier said than done. It may not happen easily, but as we meditate more and more, as we listen to this knowledge more and more, we start understanding it, and this knowledge becomes a part of our life. So that's it, my friends. Thank you so much. And I hope I have contributed to your growth in some way. Reflect on this session. I found this topic very, very beautiful, and I've read it again and again. I found deep meaning in all the things that Paramahansa Yogananda ji has said. So that's it. So if anyone has some questions, we'll take the questions, or else then we will meditate. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Neil. It was wonderful session. It was so simple, and we are always forgetting what we have to do every day. So every day we come to the class. That time only we remember all these points, and we are forgetting day to day life. So this attending these classes, writing down all the points, and reading once again will give us knowledge to be aware of what and all we have to do each day. And in previous sessions also, you have given. Some beautiful knowledge about gratitude and all. So every day morning starting you do the prayer, and night if you do the gratitude, you and do the meditation and keep the God with you in all the works you do.
Wow. Yeah.
So so that you won't get any negative thoughts. You cut all the negative thoughts, and you will be in positive thoughts the whole day. And
Yeah.
you give all your desires to God, and He will give you unlimited happiness. That's the
Yes.
main point
Yes.
we have to remember every day. Yeah,
Absolutely. And you reflect on the good and the bad desires, and also on your unfulfilled desires, which sometimes we are not even aware we are holding them. So, that also you must remove them, surrender them to God. That's it.
yeah,
Beautifully, you summed it up, ma'am.
yeah. Masters, if you have any doubts or share your experiences, you can raise your hand for 2 3 minutes. You can share, and then we'll do the meditation. Vedavati ma'am, masters, please come forward. At least you can share your experience. No, these are the things, simple things we are forgetting every day. Such a beautiful thing ma'am explained today. Yoga, Param Yoganandaji. Yeah, Palane Pane sir.
Yes. Madam, good evening, madam. Namaskaram, madam.
Good evening.
Madam Parneel, madam. Very beautifully told, madam. Very,
Thank you
very.
so much.
I enjoyed your lecture, madam. I enjoyed
Thank
very much.
Yes.
Say I humbly tell, if I used to be very humble right from a young age. So even though I had some desires, the humbleness made me to overcome all the desires. And in this lecture, I learned a lot, madam. Thank you, madam. Thanks, madam. I'm very grateful to you.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Very
The honor is all mine.
it has reached me. It has reached me very nicely. Very simple language you used, and very bullet points were very nice. It, so we understood. I understood very well, madam. Your lecture, great, madam. Thankful, madam. Very much thanks.
Thank you. The honor is all mine,
Uh,
sir. Thank you.
uh,
Thank
I studied from a Christian institute in my school days, private
you.
institute. Later than college days, all along only government institutes. That humbleness, I still keep it in my mind. Whatever happened in my life, now I am above 61. So the desires, God desires, I have in my mind. So it has once again my memories come back after like lecture, madam. Uh, Thanks, madam. Very much great, madam. Thanks, madam. Very kind of you, madam. Thanks, madam. So I want to convey this, madam, in this forum.
Thank you,
Thanks,
sir.
madam.
Thank you,
Great,
sir.
madam.
The
Thank,
honor is all mine, sir. Thank you.
thank, thanks.
I have only one desire, that I have to go very high spiritually and enjoy that in, during the rest of my life.
That you will get, madam. That desire, so God will fulfill completely.
Uh,
All the good desires He will fulfill. These are
fulfill.
all good
Mm.
desires. That we want a high spiritual state. We want the highest state. We want liberation. These are good desires. So this you
Mm.
can keep these
That
desires because they are
liberation,
going
that
to
I
help
forgot.
you
Mm.
grow. Yeah,
But
very
I
good.
am confident that I will do that. I will get it.
Very nice, madam. Lot of change has come in you in these last 1.5 months. You are a different person today. Look at your smile, your beautiful smile. You know, thanks to
Mm.
Mahavatar Foundation and all
Foundation,
the
I know.
wonderful contribution and in your own effort also in your self growth. Your own effort is very important. So
Now,
I'm so happy
now,
for you that
now
you
I
have.
have got, I have learned to be very patient. I've got lot of patience nowadays. Then I, I don't get angry. I don't get emotional. I used to get all this earlier. I'm quite at home all the time. I know I spend all my maximum time on meditation, Bhagavad Gita, then Vishnu Sahasranama, and some of these wisdom sharing, listening to wisdom sharing. That's all.
Really nice, madam. Very nice. You are a live
So,
example of how much transformation has come, and we
come.
must thank Mahavatar Foundation and we must thank each other for this beautiful soul family that we have got.
Correct. It's Mahavatar Foundation and that Bhagavad Gita class has become like a home for me. One is like a mother's place, the other one is my in-laws' place, like that.
Yes.
I wait for this time when this 9 o'clock will come, or in the afternoon when this 12 o'clock comes. I wait for the time. I keep myself ready by that time.
Great, great, madam. Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
My blessings and my love are with you always.
You
Thank you.
you should.
Yeah, and we should always not to forget to do the meditation. Like we are always learning about meditation, and how much meditation we are doing is the main important thing
Mm.
each and every day.
Whenever I get time, even 10 minutes, 20 minutes, I sit. And then during midnights also, whenever I wake up, I sit.
Yeah, that's how we have to utilize our free time.
Free time.
Whenever we get the time, you should not waste the time.
Huh.
These things will make you go higher and higher, grow higher and higher spiritually.
I, mm, Now, if I don't meditate for a long time, you know what happens? This Agnihotra starts paining. It, it pains so much that, I feel very restless. Then somehow I make time and sit for some time. Then it will go.
Yeah, it is giving you hints. It is a you should meditate, you should meditate. It is like
meditate
alarm. Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. Thank you, Vedavati ma'am, for
Thank you,
sharing your
thank you, thank you,
experience.
ma'am.
Yeah, we should always thank. We'll thank Niluji ma'am, and we'll give a big round of applause to her.
Apply. But she
Thank
should
you.
have continued for some more time.
Uh,
It
we are
is
given half an hour, no? So I
uh,
prepare the speech that it
sometimes
gets over.
yesterday that madam took so much of time. She was
That
talking about
depends, ma'am.
aura
It's okay.
yesterday.
At the end of the day,
Ah,
what we are learning,
that
we are
aura.
implementing. Ma'am has
Ah,
summarized so beautifully, and it's okay.
mm, it was
And
very
these
simple.
points, if you implement in our life, that's
Ah,
more than enough. She has taken all beautiful points, bullet points, and
points.
she has
I know.
given so beautifully. If you do that, it's more than enough. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Let's give a big round of applause to Neelu, ma'am.
Mm-mm.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And
Yeah, I would
applause
like
to
to have,
everyone. To
yeah,
everyone. You all are all
to,
beautiful masters. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
yeah, who are taking time and come for Zoom sessions
Yes, yes,
and
yes.
listening to the classes. Hopefully, they are applying these things in their day-to-day life as well. Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am, and we would like to have you in future sessions as well. Yeah,
I'll
thank you
be
so much.
honored, ma'am. I'll be honored. Thank you so much.
Yeah, yeah, masters, if you have any doubts, just one more minute. Afterwards, we'll start with the meditation. I think all masters are good. We'll start with the meditation.
All our masters are very intelligent now.
Yeah,
When questions disappear, that means you become a master, real master. Questions turn to wonder.
yeah.